Ethics for Logan College Students. Tools for Academic and Professional Success. Let's begin by briefly looking at some statements from the Logan College mission goals and philosophy, which include to foster an environment where diverse individuals, groups, and views are valued, to provide programs and services for lifelong learning that create and enhance opportunities for achieving career and personal goals in a changing society, to serve with integrity and accountability. Logan College believes in the inherent worth and dignity of the individual. Logan College's core values are honesty, adhering to strong moral and ethical principles in all we do. Responsibility, using responsibility, preserving and enhancing human and material sources. Compassion, responding to the feelings and needs of each person with kindness, concern, and empathy. Fairness, communicating and working with others for the benefit of all. Respect, recognizing and valuing the dignity and uniqueness of every person. Determining what is ethical and what is unethical behavior is a very important and ongoing aspect of being a good student, a good professional, and a good human being. Some important questions to consider are simply, what are ethics? Why are ethics important? What do ethics mean to you in your daily living, at school, and at work? How does practicing good ethics increase the likelihood that you will be successful in school and work? Defining ethics. The word ethics is derived from the Greek word ethos, which means character. With regards to a person's character being good or bad, right or wrong, or appropriate or inappropriate, ethics can simply be defined as the study of moral principles and appropriate conduct. As defined in Webster's dictionary, ethics is the discipline dealing with what is good and bad and with a moral duty and obligation, and as a set of moral principles, a theory or system of moral values. Determining what is ethical and what is unethical behavior is a very important and ongoing aspect of being a good student, a good professional, and a good human being. In their book, The Ethics of Touch, Ben Benjamin and Sherry Son Mo describe ethical behavior as striving to bring the highest values into one's work and aspiring to do one's best in all interactions, doing the right thing in the right manner for the right reasons and with the right attitude. Tom Peters, in his widely read book In Search for Excellence, offers in his perspective that high ethical standards, business or otherwise, are above all about treating people decently. To me, as a person, and business owner, that means respect for a person's privacy, dignity, opinions, and natural desire to grow, and people's respect for and by coworkers. Let's look at some ethics-related terminology. Values, morals, law, rule, regulation, policy, code of ethics, professionalism. Some definitions for ethics-related terminology. Values, things as principles or qualities, intrinsically valuable or desirable. Morals, modes of conduct. Law, the collection of rules imposed by authority. Civilization presupposes respect for the law. Rule, an atomic element of a moral code for guiding choices in human behavior, also known as a law, which may be informally called a rule. Code of ethics, a set of standards, rules, guidelines, and values that govern and guide ethical business behavior in a company, profession, or organization of its employees, interactions among the employees, and interactions between the employees and the general public. Professionalism, the conduct, aims, or qualities that characterize or mark a profession or a professional person. Now that we've defined some of the ethics-related terminology, let's look at some specific categories of ethics. The categories may include academic ethics, respect for diversity, avoiding plagiarism, cheating, fabrication, copyright violations, drugs and alcohol abuse, sexual harassment, and other conduct violations. Business and professional ethics also include ethics for specific values and activities that an organization or individual adheres to in everyday dealings in an occupation or trade. And the good work ethic, the dedication to high standards of practice in academics, sports, arts, and any other type of work and business. Let's look at how issues of academic ethics are addressed in the John A. Logan College Rights and Responsibilities document. This document, along with the John A. Logan College catalog, details policies that have been formulated in order to assist students in experiencing success in their academic and extracurricular activities. Students are responsible for knowing and adhering to the material in this document, which provides an important framework for respecting academic ethics for all students at John A. Logan College. The document affirms that John A. Logan College is committed to equal access and equal opportunity for all students, without regard to race, religion, color, national origin, disability, age, sexual orientation, or gender orientation. John A. Logan College students and employees all have an ethical responsibility to treat each other with basic respect for diversity and with non-discrimination. Rights and responsibilities, academic integrity. Plagiarism is defined in the document as the use of another's words or ideas without appropriate documentation. It is academically and ethically unacceptable. There are two main categories of plagiarism. Intentional plagiarism, wherein an assignment contains information that has been cut and pasted from an electronic source or has been copied directly from a print source, and is presented by the student as her or his own original work. Unintentional plagiarism, wherein an assignment contains inadequate documentation or no documentation of source material. This is generally regarded as the most common form of plagiarism. Academic integrity. Some other forms of academic dishonesty include cheating and fabrication. Examples of cheating include copying answers from another student's exam or quiz, letting another student copy answers from your quiz or exam, giving or receiving other written or spoken information about the exam or quiz while you are taking it without the instructor's permission, obtaining a copy of an exam or quiz before it is taken and without the instructor's permission, selling or giving away part of the exam or quiz before it is taken. Examples of fabrication include attending a course to take an exam or quiz for another student, signing an attendance roster for a classmate who is absent, inventing statistics, other information, and/or sources for a paper or other assignment. Other examples of violations in academic integrity detailed in the document include willful falsification of scientific educational data that is represented as scientific or scholarly research, furnishing false information to John A. Logan College with the intent to deceive, including but not limited to incidents of embezzlement and fraud, and forging, alteration, or misuse of documents, records, or identification cards. Forgery may also result in criminal penalties. Some tips for avoiding academic dishonesty. Commit yourself to putting in the time and energy it takes to keep up with your reading, homework, and other projects. Being well prepared for exams, quizzes, and other assignments will reduce the temptation to attempt cheating. Prevent unintentional or unintentional plagiarism by following the documentation and other reference styles required by your instructor for citing sources in your papers and speeches. Appreciate opportunities for expressing your original thoughts in written and spoken work. Don't give in to peer pressure by allowing other students or coworkers to convince you to cheat. In a resume or doing a job interview, emphasize genuine strengths in your experience and skills. Making up or exaggerating details weakens your credibility and may cost you a job. Remember, cheating shortchanges you out of a quality education and damages your professionalism. Rights and responsibilities, use of electronic information systems. Computing and networking resources may be used only in accordance with accepted college practice. Access to the college's information systems is a privilege. Those within the college who make use of these resources are subject to high ethical standards to ensure the privacy, security, and proper use of data. Examples of inappropriate usage. Some notable examples of inappropriate and unacceptable use of computing and networking resources include, but are not limited to, violations of computer system security and disruption or unauthorized monitoring of electronic communications, use of computer and/or network facilities for profit-oriented or business purposes unrelated to the mission of the college, violation of copyrights and software licensing agreements, violation of another user's privacy, accessing or attempting to access another individual's or entity's data or information without proper authorization, regardless of the means by which this access is attempted or accomplished. Other examples of inappropriate electronics usage include giving another individual the means to access data or information he or she is not authorized to access, obtaining, possessing, or using or attempting to use passwords or other information about someone else's account, inspecting, modifying, distributing, or copying data, mail, messages, or other software without proper authorization or attempting to do so, and tapping phone or data lines. Rights and responsibilities, avoiding electronic disruptions. Respect all Johnny Logan College classroom and workplace policies in regard to use or non-use of cell phones, Blackberries and Palm Pilots, beepers and pages, camera and video phones, text messaging devices, other similar devices. Rights and responsibilities, copyright violations. It is the policy of the college to comply with the provisions of the Federal Copyright Act and other lawful rights or restrictions applying to the acquisition, use, reproduction, and distribution of computer software programs. The law protects the exclusive rights of the copyright holder and does not give users the right to copy software unless a backup copy is not provided by the manufacturer. No person shall use or cause to be used in the college's microcomputer laboratories or college offices any software which does not fall into one of the following categories. It is in the public domain, it has been donated to the college and a record of contribution exists, it has been purchased by the college and a record of purchase exists, and it is covered by a licensing agreement with the software author, authors, vendor, or developer, whichever is applicable. It has been purchased by the user. It has been reviewed or demonstrated by the users in order to reach a decision about possible future purchase or request for a contribution or licensing, or it has been written or developed by a college employee for the specific purpose of being used in the college's facilities. Rights and responsibilities, drug and alcohol abuse. Johnny Logan College views drug or substance abuse as having a debilitating effect upon a student's physical and emotional well-being. Further, in accordance with the existing law and sound educational practice, the college strongly discourages drug or substance abuse by any of its students, faculty, staff, or officers. The unlawful manufacture, distribution, dispensation, possession, or use of alcohol or a controlled substance is prohibited in and on Johnny Logan College owned and controlled property. In any setting here, the college has a contractual agreement for education, transportation, or housing, and on any college-sponsored off-campus trip or activity of an educational nature. Any Johnny Logan College student determined to have violated this policy may be subject to disciplinary action up to and including suspension. In addition, any student receiving financial aid may lose that assistance. Rights and responsibilities, use of tobacco and food products. Because of environmental, local health, and safety concerns, the use of tobacco in any form, smoking or smokeless, in Johnny Logan College buildings is prohibited. Smoking is not permitted in building entrances or on campus sidewalks. Food and drink products are not allowed in college classrooms when regularly scheduled college classes are in session or in the Learning Resources Center. Restrictions on food and drink do not apply to outside groups using the college facilities or to scheduled meetings, seminars, and workshops that may be held on the college campus by or for the internal or external groups. Rights and responsibilities, sexual harassment. Johnny Logan College is committed to providing an academic atmosphere free of exploitation or intimidation. The college does not tolerate harassment of or by a student at any time. Sexual harassment means any unwelcome sexual advances or requests for sexual favors made by a college student of the college to another. Revise, please. There's also a typo on this slide 34. The very first sentence needs to be providing an academic atmosphere instead of an academic atmosphere. Rights and responsibilities, sexual harassment. Johnny Logan College is committed to providing an academic atmosphere free of exploitation or intimidation. The college does not tolerate harassment of or by a student at any time. Sexual harassment means any unwelcome sexual advances or requests for sexual favors made by a college student to another student on the premises of the college or college supervised trips, or in settings where the college has a contractual agreement for education, housing, or transportation, or any conduct of a sexual nature exhibited by a college student toward another student or college employee in an educational setting when such conduct has the purpose of substantially interfering with a student's educational performance or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive atmosphere. Further definition of Johnny Logan College policy in regard to sexual harassment, including corrective actions, is detailed in the Rights and Responsibilities document. Rights and responsibilities in regards to privacy. Avoid gossiping about classmates, coworkers, instructors, and employers. In many healthcare professions, divulging private information about the health of another person is actually illegal as well as unethical, as is stipulated in the Health Information Portability and Accountability Act, also known as HIPAA. Respecting the privacy of others reinforces public trust in your work. Rights and responsibilities, other conduct issues. Additional behavior that is prohibited at Johnny Logan College includes assaulting or threatening in a menacing manner, striking or wounding another person, willful indecent exposure of one's person in a place where there are other persons to be offended or damaged thereby, intentional destruction of, damage or injury to, or unauthorized use of property not one's own. Other conduct prohibited at Johnny Logan College also includes theft, burglary, or breaking and entering, intentional and unauthorized entry into any premises owned or controlled by Johnny Logan College, unauthorized carrying or possession of weapons, ammunition, or other explosives, or creating a clear and present danger to persons or property by the misuse of combustible material, pellet, and or look-alike weapons, and to assemble with one or more persons with the intent to violate any provisions of this code, or with the purpose of, or which results in, disrupting the educational, research, or service goals of the college. Additional conduct prohibited at Johnny Logan College includes intentional obstruction or disruption of teaching, research, administration, disciplinary proceedings, or other Johnny Logan activities, including its public service functions or other authorized activities on Johnny Logan premises. Failure to comply with directions of identified Johnny Logan officials acting within the scope of the duty or of any law enforcement officer acting in the performance of his or her duties, possession of stolen goods, gambling on Johnny Logan owned or supervised property or in settings where the college has a contractual arrangement for education, housing, or transportation, and participation in hazing as defined by Illinois state statutes. Students who violate any policies described in the Rights and Responsibilities document are subject to disciplinary procedures of the college. This may include loss of the use of college electronics information systems, expulsion, suspension, probation, or reprimand by the Vice President for Administration. Additionally, depending on the offense, violators may be subject to prosecution by state and federal authorities. Also be aware that now, while we've covered many of the important issues contained in the Rights and Responsibilities document, there is additional information and policies that are detailed in this document that we won't go into in this program. But you do still need to be aware of, read and know, and follow those policies. Now let's consider how ethics are established in other professional contexts. A very significant way that professional ethics are described is included in the Professional Code of Ethics. Many professions have a formal code of ethics which includes specific ethical guidelines for conduct and standards of practice. Some factors that guide the formulation of a code of ethics include the nature of the profession, what activities and issues are associated with the profession, a dedication to high standards of performance, a respect for individuality and a commitment to not discriminate against classmates, instructors, colleagues, customers, clients, patients, and so on. Additional concepts in a code of ethics may include a statement of commitment for these professionals to provide the highest quality care for people seeking their services, a description of a scope of practice. Professionals are expected to provide only those services for which they have appropriate qualifications, including education, certification, and licensure if required by law. Respect for confidentiality in professional relationships. Some sample concepts that might be included in a code of ethics would include respect for appropriate boundaries in professional relationships with regards for the unique ways that a professional may interact with the public. For example, a police officer, teacher, counselor, engineer, government official, nurse, massage therapist, and so on. Conducting all business activities with honesty and integrity, and to strive for excellence through continuous self-assessment of strengths and areas of needed improvement, and through ongoing continuing education and training. Some sample statements that might be included in a code of ethics for professional engineers would include: engineers shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public in performance of their professional duties. Engineers shall consider environmental impact and sustainable development in the performance of their professional duties. And engineers shall continue their professional development throughout their careers and provide opportunities for the professional and ethical development of those engineers under their supervision. To consider how a code of ethics may apply to a profession that you are interested in, simply select a profession that interests you and to find out, is there a code of ethics for this profession? What activities and issues might arise in this profession that should be considered in a discussion of ethics? What ethics might be included in a code of ethics to address the values, issues, and activities associated with this profession? In many professions, respect for appropriate boundaries between the professional and the client, patient, customer, student, and so on is required to maintain basic integrity in the service that is being provided. Some common terms used in discussing boundaries include boundary crossings, boundary violations, dual relationships. Boundary crossings occur when there is a shift in the boundaries that is normal and appropriate for the relationship. Boundary violations occur when that crossing is specifically illegal or highly inappropriate. An example of this might be if a psychotherapist were to make sexual advances toward a client in a therapeutic relationship. And dual relationships occur when there is more than one type of relationship between the professional and the person from the public. This does not necessarily mean that there's a boundary violation, but it simply means that, for instance, a doctor and a patient may also be friends or possibly even family members. And so there is an aspect of the duality in the relationship that needs to be balanced and checked for appropriateness. Referral sources. For some types of professionals, especially in the healthcare, it is unethical to offer anything of value to a referral source in return for the referral of clients, patients, customers, general public. Anything of value may include cash, gifts, discounts, services, and so on, and in many states this practice would be illegal as well as unethical. Nominal gifts might be acceptable and legal if no direct relationship exists between the size and frequency of the gifts and referrals. Some considerations for making ethical decisions. Consider the code of ethics if applicable for the professional involved. Are legal issues involved? Is the conduct legal and ethical? Something legal may possibly conflict with your morals or beliefs, creating an ethical dilemma. Consider the welfare and safety of everyone involved. Act with integrity and honesty. In his book, Making Ethical Decisions, Michael Josephson presents 6 pillars of character for guidance in balancing regards for different values, which may at times conflict with each other in considering ethical issues. These pillars are trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. Josephson describes trustworthiness as the most complicated of the 6 values, involving a number of qualities such as honesty, integrity, reliability, and loyalty. Respect, emphasizing the golden rule, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you with regards to civility, courtesy, decency, dignity, autonomy, tolerance, and acceptance. Responsibility, demonstrating the capacity to meet expectations through being accountable, pursuing excellence, and exercising self-restraint. Fairness, considered by Josephson to likely be more difficult to apply accurately than any other value. He defines it as adherence to a balanced standard of justice without relevance to one's own feelings or inclinations. The 5th pillar, caring, is described by Josephson as the heart of ethics and ethical decision-making. Josephson points out that it is nearly impossible to be truly ethical without being concerned about the welfare of others. And in citizenship, Josephson notes that this value addresses the responsibility we have as members of a community. Besides knowing the laws and obeying them, a good citizen volunteers and appreciates the benefits of conserving resources, recycling, using public transportation, and cleaning up litter. Now consider what your work ethic is typically like by assessing your preparation with knowledge, wellness, appearance, and overall performance. Assessing your work ethic, preparation with knowledge. Consider if you demonstrate a commitment to learn about your profession by studying, interacting with students and instructors, and gaining practical experience. Learn and adhere to the policies regulating your class and workplace. and learn and adhere to any laws and code of ethics regulating your profession of interest. Assessing your work ethic preparation with wellness. Being well rested for class or work with an adequate amount of regular sleep. Make sure you are well fueled on a balanced diet and good hydration. Maintain an exercise program with cardiovascular, flexibility, and strength fitness. Keep hands clean and sanitized for most class and work environments. Good hygiene. Bathe daily or more if sweating significantly before class or work. Additional items for preparation with wellness and good appearance. Use deodorant effectively. Brush your teeth and use mouth freshener when needed. Use caution when chewing gum while interacting with public. You wouldn't want to splash saliva on anyone or make them feel like you're not giving them your full attention. Avoid strong use of perfume or cologne. Avoid smelling of smoke for most class and work environments. This can be not only unpleasant for people, someone, for instance, who may have a compromised immune system may actually be harmed by the smell of your smoke. This can be something like triggering an allergy or simply making an experience unpleasant for them in terms of interacting with you that might actually have a negative effect on their immune system. No consumption of alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, or any illegal substance in adherence to school and/or workplace policy. Assessing your work ethic preparation with appearance. Some or all jewelry might need to be removed for some classes or work, depending on the types of activity that you're doing. Some tattoos might need to be covered if possible in some classes or work environments. This may be required in some offices or stores or different locations where you may be working. It might simply be a policy. Dress appropriately in clean clothes, uniform for class or work and requirements. Keeping hair clean for some class or work. Hair longer than shoulder length might need to be pulled back, and facial hair should be well groomed. Prevent exposure of your lower back, belly, and chest regions if inappropriate for class or workplace. Some other aspects of assessing your work ethic, including preparation with appearance, would be demonstrate reliable punctuality for class or work. This sometimes may mean arriving 10 minutes early. Provide adequate notice if need to be absent or late for class or work. A simple apology if that's not able to be performed. Don't bring emotional baggage to the classroom or workplace. Leave your personal issues outside of class and work. But do bring all the materials that you need for your work. Turn off cell phone and other electronic devices unless appropriate for class or work. The cell phone or other device goes off. If it's appropriate to apologize, offer that to the instructor, your classmates, other customers or professionals you may be interacting with. Assessing your work ethic in performance. Maintain a friendly, caring mood in school and work. Smile and maintain good eye contact whenever appropriate. Speak to instructors, classmates, coworkers, teammates, employers, and the general public with a respectful tone of voice and appropriate volume. Don't use profanity or any language that might be offensive to others. Perform responsibilities with a reasonable speed and accuracy. Be aware if you need to ask for help from instructors, classmates or coworkers, teammates, employers, or other appropriate sources if you need it. Also be open to receiving feedback about your performance from instructors, employers, and others. Continuously strive for improvement in your performance. Be willing to put in extra time if needed to improve or overcome weaknesses in your performance, knowledge base, skills, and other aspects of your performance. Be willing to occasionally pitch in and help with unexpected circumstances. Be dedicated to performing all responsibilities consistently at the best of your abilities. For self-assessment, consider what strengths in your work ethic can you identify that support the likelihood of your success in college and work. What goals for improvement in your work ethic might increase the likelihood of your success in college and work? There are an infinite variety of benefits for having a good work ethic. Some of these would include providing safety and reliability automatically contributes to the high quality in your work. Having a reputation for conducting business with good ethics builds public confidence in your work. Being known for ethical, good quality work will promote a positive demand for your work. And you are more likely to experience high self-esteem and overall enjoyment in your work. Pursuing good ethics is a lifelong process and involves continuous learning and just continuous dedication. Additional resources at John A. Logan College. For assistance in avoiding plagiarism, contact the Writing Center. For assistance in an ethical job search, contact the Placement and Career Development Office. For wellness preparation, the John A. Logan College Community Health Education Complex offers swimming, cardiovascular and weightlifting, aerobics, yoga, and other classes. This concludes this program for Ethics for John A. Logan College students. We wish you great success in pursuing your academic and professional goals.